We are working on the 79 C3 Corvette. We are going to fix the gas gauge, allegedly at least. So I'm going to replace the fuel sending unit in it. Way back, previous video when I was doing the gauges, we tested the fuel gauge. We found the gauge itself is functional. So I believe my issue is the fuel sending unit. So on these C3s, just like the C4s, you could get complete access just by removing this plastic liner, the fill tube, and then bam, there you go. So let's dive into it. Alright, so step one, we need to take off this plastic liner. Looks like there's 4 Phillips head screws. So we will remove them. Get yourself a good quality screwdriver. There we go. Easy work with that one. Hopefully the rest come out. So this whole thing, the whole assembly here should pop out of place. Set my screwdriver down. Okay. Slide it forward and out. Set it aside. Alright, so I'm going to remove the gas cap. And now we have this plastic liner that we need to remove. This, I don't think is screwed in. I think we can just pick it on out. Now I don't want to rip it because I don't have a replacement one. Trying to be nice and gentle with it. Really don't want to rip this. This is what, if you spill the gas or don't make it right into the nozzle area, well, this will keep it from dripping down and into the backside of your bumper or all over your spare tire. Just kind of catch it till it evaporates. Alright, working my fingers under there, getting it around the lip. And we should be good. Pop out now. Yep, there it goes. Starts coming now. Alright, luckily for me, this was a lot tougher than it looked. My hand is filthy now. But we got it out in one piece. So here's the inside. Gonna go ahead, put this on so I don't drop anything inside the tank. There we go. And now's a good time to just vacuum or blow all this stuff out, because when we remove this whole unit here, we don't want anything falling into the tank. So this wire right here is should be our fuel sending wire, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a ground attached to it. That ground doesn't look so good, but yeah, the wire's here. And then it routes down into the taillight harness. So everything should be fine with the wire. Let's be thorough. Since I have the time, let's test it. And now with this fuel level wire unplugged, we should see it jump to full. And there it's going, all the way to full. So now we can be doubly certain that it's 100% an issue with our fuel sending unit down here. So let's get started on removing. We have a couple bolts on the perimeter here, and we have some hoses. We have 3 hoses. So let's remove the hoses, then we can get to the bolts. All right, got one of the hoses off. The other 2 are still on, but I got the clamps off. And they're pretty tight and tough, and I don't want to rip the rubber hoses. So we're just going to move to undoing the bolts, see if that gives us some more room. We can lift up, maybe get more access to pull these out. I don't know. That's a thought at least. So it's a 7/16, and not using an impact, just using hand ratchet sockets. So there's several to go through. So let me take all these off, and then we can try pulling it up with the 2 hoses. All right, all the bolts have been removed. This should just pop up. And it's going to be a little stubborn, of course. Okay, it's going to be a lot stubborn. That is all the bolts. It almost feels like it's been glued in. which shouldn't be the case. Okay. What is going on here? I don't really have a good spot to pry against. Alright, so taking my pry bar, just sticking it inside, making sure it's clean first, and just rocking it back and forth, being real gentle. And finally, we have movement. So I think I can stick my pry bar under, pick it up now. Hear the seal being broken. Don't want any of that getting inside the fuel tank. There we go. And it is now loose. Okay. Curious to see what that gasket looks like. But, so we still have these two hoses here that I need to somehow get out. So I'm going to fight with that and then get back. Alright, got the last hose off, destroyed it, so we're going to have to figure out how to repair that. But let's go ahead and pull this out. I'm not sure if you got it twisted or something, so we're going to find out right now. Definitely needs to come forward. But there's like not enough room. So I got it twisted almost a full turn, 3/4 of a turn counterclockwise, and we made progress. Getting stuck on something. I'm hitting the edge on the inside, like there's not enough room to pull out. Struggling, but I think we're getting a little bit better. I got it all the way 180 turned. But still we're running into the issue, it's just not big enough. There we go. Alright, so just how to force it, take off some paint in the process, but out it comes. And there we go. So it was like this, and we had to turn it about 180 and then back to 90. So you can see the arm down here. And the sock. Alright. Take a look on the inside. On the inside here, not too bad. Got some stuff in there. Some of that's big stuff, like, oh, that's whatever sealer they used kind of fell in there. Some dust, some dirt. I'm sure some of that was already in there. I don't think that was all from me. But overall, pretty clean. Now, I think it's 78 to 82 Corvettes have a liner, a plastic liner inside of the tank, and those can sometimes collapse and mess up your fuel reading because they're collapsed. I think it causes it to stick at like 1/4 of the gauge. That is not my problem in this case. The fuel tank actually looks really, really good, despite just that small little bit of sediment down there. I just managed to get out the ripped fuel line. This was damaged by me trying to remove it because it was that stuck. The other one is actually just fine. I have no issues with it. Might replace it since I'm here, but I don't necessarily need to. And the vent one, that one popped off easily, so no big deal there. So the one that messed up on me is the feed one. If you take a look down here, I got a flashlight down here, but so we got a hard line and then a hard line and then a real short rubber line to the sending unit. That was probably to absorb some vibration and whatnot from the car moving and the lines not really flexing. So we need to pick up whatever size hose this is, and instead of going back with these clamps, because I don't like these clamps, they're so difficult to work on, I'm gonna go with a regular hose clamp and just thread it in there. Now the other thing I have to do is get a new rubber hose. So this was the old one, it's that size. So I got a new hose here just from my scrap pile. This is a 3/8 diameter and it fits over the feed line. So this is exactly the length I need. So I'm just gonna cut exactly the length out. I pumped all the gas out of here and then I just vacuumed the inside of the tank. I actually did this days ago while I was waiting for this to come. So the inside of the tank is nice and clean. Well, as clean as it's gonna get. There's a little bit of stuff in here. That stuff is like in the plastic and just tiny bits of fuel left, but it's pretty clean compared to how you last saw it. Got the new gasket on here. It came with the sending unit. However, not all the holes line up. I mean, every hole lines up right now except for one of them. So I think I'm gonna save myself some time and punch a hole through this. That way I don't have to fight it on the way when I install it. But we are about ready to install. I got my new hose in here. So let's slide this thing in. I just took some RTV very, very thin, like just a couple dots here, on the four corners, just to help hold this seal into place while I try to maneuver it in place. Not a lot, because if it sticks out and falls in the tank, it's gonna gum up. So you don't want a lot. So I know it goes like that. Now, you have advantage here because for you, it wasn't that long ago, but for me, it was a couple days since I've taken this out. So I need to fit this in. Just use my hands to get the pickup in. Now it's gonna end up something like this. What I remember is this is a pain to get through this opening here, so let's see what we can figure out. Progress. Okay. Come on, we're so close. Right now there's a fiberglass lip here. I don't know what this is for. Maybe for holding that plastic seal over this, but that's what I'm fighting. I got everything else in the tank right now. So close. Come on. We're down all the way. Now can we line the bolt holes up? So the feed and return lines actually ended up under the sender unit. That's a problem. Okay, got them out. Now I just gotta line it up. My glue started coming undone at the end. And just like that, I believe we can start our first hole. The new sending unit came with new bolts, which is interesting. I don't know why, but hey, I'll take it. They were a little longer than the old ones, but they seem to be working just fine. Okay, damage report. Chipped some paint here from pulling it out and pulling it back in. Man, it's a tight fit. I don't understand. Maybe there's a trick that I don't know, but it's tight fit. So, as I said, it came with new bolts and a washer. Threading them in now, and we can reconnect these lines, put some gas in, and then check if the gauge is working. All right, everything's buttoned up. Didn't put the rubber thing on. Just put in about 4 gallons or so of gas. what I removed, maybe 3.5. Wires are hooked up, fuel lines are hooked up. They don't need to be hooked up for this, but I just did it anyways. So let's turn the key and we'll take a look at the fuel gauge. All right, there's the gauge there. Turn key on. And right to E. Okay, gauge went straight to empty. Concerned me. So grabbed my spare meter, started testing it. We are getting about 15, 14 ohms, sometimes higher. It's fluctuating a little bit. I think that's pretty normal, but let's say about 15 ohms right now. This is a 24-gallon fuel tank. The fuel sending unit measures from 0 to 90 ohms, 90 ohms being full. So now we're down to about 12, 13. So let's take 13. Say 13 divided by 90. And that gives us 0.144 ohms, or 0.144 of a full tank. I put in about 3.5 gallons, and we're at 0.145. So we are actually right in the ballpark of where we're supposed to be. It's measuring the right ohms, so the gauge is apparently where it's supposed to be. So I guess we're good here. Before I button everything up, just running it, making sure we don't have any leaks over here. And not seeing any. That's good. It only pumps, like I said, maybe 5 psi of pressure, so it's not that much. But everything's good. We can button up, stop the car. And that's everything all put together. Like I was never here. Besides the few paint chips, but we're not going to talk about that. Alright, so I wish I could put some gas in it, but you know, it's winter and it's just too cold. So I'm going to give it a couple weeks to warm up before I drive this. And besides, I got to play musical cars to get this out of the garage anyways. So I have some other things I can do meanwhile. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.